Welcome students. Let us today begin with the discussion of the group Bryophyta. The group Bryophyta lies intermediate to the thallophytes and pteridophytes, and they are the first plants to appear on land, but they can live, some of the species can live in water as well. So they are the amphibians of the plant kingdom. The term Bryophyta has been derived from two Greek words, bryon, moss, and phyton, plant. So moss-like plants are called as bryophytes. The plants are characterized by the presence of conspicuous green, well-developed, nutritionally independent gametophytes to which are attached physically and nutritionally dependent sporophytes. So the sporophytes are dependent upon the gametophyte. The gametophyte constitutes the dominant phase of the life cycle and exhibits a sharply defined alternations of generations. We will be discussing the general characteristics of bryophytes under the following heads. First of all, habitat. Habitat-wise, the plants grow predominantly in amphibious habitat, though some forms like Rixia flutans and Rixia natans are aquatic. Sphagnum grows in bogs. Polytrichum and some other mosses grow in xeric conditions. Species like Flulenia and Redula are epiphyllous, and Boxbaumia and Cryptochelys are saprophytes. Porella species, especially the Platyphyloidea, grows on rocks and barks and can withstand without water for several months. Now, what is the structure of the bryophytes? As I said, the plants they show two morphologically distinct heteromorphic generations, that is the gametophyte and the sporophytic generation. The gametophytic generation is the dominant phase of the life cycle, and in general, the term plant body may be used to represent this phase. The gametophytes are well developed, green, and autotrophic. That is, they are able to manufacture their own food, and the sporophytes, which are attached upon the gametophyte, are physically and physiologically dependent. The plant body in primitive forms. Students, Bryophyta has been divided into three classes: the Hepaticopsida, Anthocerotopsida, and Bryopsida. So, the classes like Hepaticopsida and Anthocerotopsida have thallus-like plant body, and mosses, which are comparatively higher class, which belong to a higher class, may be differentiated into structures like rhizoids, stem, which is generally termed as axis, and leaves. The thalli of primitive forms, example Rixia and Marchantia, are found attached to the substratum by unicellular unbranched rhizoids, but in higher forms, as in mosses, they are attached by means of branched multicellular rhizoids. In Marchantia, often multicellular scales are present in addition to rhizoids. In the order Marchantians, we have multicellular scales in addition to the rhizoids. The rhizoids of the bryophytes are homologous to the roots of higher plants, but they are analogous to each other. What do you mean by analogous? Analogous means the rhizoids appear in the gametophytic generation and the roots appear in the sporophytic generation. So, but their function is similar. Function wise, they are homologous to each other. Rhizoids and roots both have the function of absorption of water and attachment of the plant body to the substratum. The plant body constitutes simple parenchymatous cells. Xylem, phloem, the basic conducting tissues in the higher plants, are completely absent from this group of plants. The parenchymatous cells may be differentiated into several types. For example, chlorophyll cells, they manufacture, they are the green coloring cells and they manufacture food, storage cells and rhizoids, etc. to perform various functions. Now, what about the reproduction? In bryophytes, two basic mechanisms of reproduction is present, the vegetative reproduction and the sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction, which is very common in the lower group of plants, the thallophytes, is completely absent from this group. Vegetative reproduction, bryophytes, they largely multiply by this method. This vegetative reproduction we will be discussing in detail in our next topic. Now, the sexual reproduction. The sexual reproduction is invariably advanced oogamous type. Students, sexual reproduction has a definite phase from isogamy, anisogamy, and oogamy. So the highest form is the oogamous type, which is visible in bryophytes. Isogamy and anisogamy methods of reproduction is common among the thallophytes. What do you mean by oogamous? When the male gametophyte is motile and the female gametophyte is non-motile. So the male gametes, which are called the antherozoids, are motile and small, and the female gametes, the eggs, are large and non-motile. The male reproductive organ is called antheridium. It consists of central mass of androcytes enclosed by a single layer of sterile jacket cells. Each androcyte produces a single biflagellated spermatocytes. The female reproductive organ, which is called the archegonium, each archegonium is multicellular and flask-shaped structure. The basal swollen portion is called venter and slender and elongated upper portion is called neck. So the gametes are produced within multicellular sex organs enclosed in an outer sterile jacket. The jacket layer surrounding the sex organs sharply differentiates the bryophytes from the algae. The sterile jacket of each archegonium encloses a single row of neck canal cells, a ventral canal cell, and an egg cell. Now, what is the fertilization? Mode of fertilization. As I said, for fertilization, water is necessary and the spermatozoites swim to the neck of the archegonium. They pass through the canal formed by the disintegration of neck canal cells and ventral canal cells and fuses with the egg. The sporophyte. This is the dependent generation, physically and nutritionally dependent upon the gametophyte. The zygote formed immediately after fertilization divides repeatedly without undergoing any resting period. So this is again a difference between the bryophytes and the thallophytes. In thallophytes, the zygote undergoes a period of rest, whereas in bryophytes, the zygote immediately, without undergoing any resting period, gives rise to the embryo. The first division of the zygote is transverse, and the embryo proper develops from the outer cell. This type of the embryogeny, where the first division of the zygote is transverse, is called as exoscopic development of embryo. The embryo is not liberated but is retained within the archegonia, where it develops into the sporophyte. The sporophytes, which are physiologically and physically dependent to the gametophytes. The sporophytes consist of the foot, seta, and capsule. In some cases, the seta is absent, example Coccinea, whereas in Riccia, both foot and seta are absent. In a capsule, the spores are formed after meiosis. These spores, called as meiospores, are of the similar type, thus they are homosporous. Now, the young gametophyte, the spores are cutinized and non-motile. They are concerned exclusively with the wind decimation. That is, they are dispersed by wind. The individual spores separates from the tetrad before they are discharged from the capsule. The spores germinate directly into the new gametophyte in Riccia and Markensia, but in mosses they germinate into a filamentous protonema, which is a short-lived stage between the gametophyte and the sporophyte, and then this protonema produces buds and that gives rise to a new plant. The Bryophyta is thus a most interesting group of plants. It shows affinities with the lower groups, the algae, and as well as the higher groups, the pteridophyta. So this difference between and similarity between the algae and the pteridophytes will be discussed in the next topic. Now, the life cycle of bryophytes. This is the graphic representation of the life cycle of bryophytes, the alternations of generations. So the alternations of generations are diplohaplontic life cycle and they are heteromorphic. These two terms. Heteromorphic means when the two generations, the sporophyte and the gametophyte, are morphologically not same or they are morphologically dissimilar. And diplohaplontic, they have a diploid stage and a haploid stage. So the bryophyte gametophytic plant, which is the dominant stage, when it matures, the thallus when it matures or when the plant body matures, it bears the sex organs in the form of male gametophyte and the female gametophyte. The male gametophyte is called as the antheridium, which gives rise to the antherozoids, and the female gametophyte is called the archegonium, which produces the egg. The sperms fuse with the egg to form the zygote. The method using fertilization, syngaby. This is a syngaby, where the fusion of the male and female gametes take place. The zygote then gives rise to the immediately without undergoing resting stage gives rise to the sporophyte, the embryo, and the embryo further gives rise to the sporophyte. The sporophyte of the bryophytes is known as sporogonium. So the sporogonium is differentiated into foot, seta, and capsule. The capsule bears the spore mother cells, and the spore mother cells undergo meiosis to give rise to the spores, undergoes the reduction division to give rise to the spores. This demarcates the end of the sporophytic generation and the beginning of the gametophytic generation. The spores may directly germinate to give rise to the new plant, or they may undergo a protonemal stage and give rise to the new plant. Vegetative, when the conditions are favorable, then the plant goes for sexual reproduction, and during the unfavorable conditions, the bryophytes reproduce by the vegetative methods. So this is all about the alternations of generations in gametophytes, in the bryophytes. Thank you.